Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do another college video and tell you the best versus the worst things I bought for my college dorm. My freshman year was last year and I lived in a dorm for only one of the semesters because of COVID, and then I just came home for the second one, but I have a lot of experience living in a dorm. So, because of that, I wanted to tell you some tips and what I think is worth buying and what it isn't worth buying. Also, I saw this video on Hannah Elise's channel. I'll link it below. I'm sure a lot of other people have done this video, but that's just like where I got the idea for it. So I'll link that below. You can watch it after this. I'm going to start with the worst things because I want to end on a high note. So one of the worst things I didn't buy was a comfy desk chair. My desk chair was just plastic and like gross, and it was really awful for like sitting on it. So I'd either recommend getting some kind of cushion or just using like a throw blanket or throw pillow or something to sit on it, unless you have like a nice chair. Or if you can bring your own, definitely get like a comfortable one because you'll be sitting there a lot. Otherwise you'll be like me and you'll lay in your bed and do your homework, and that's not good for you. Also causes back issues. Okay, another thing I didn't actually buy was better AirPods. So I had mine for like probably 2 years before I went to college, and they were just bad at that point, right? Like I brought them, they got sand in them when I went to like a beach or whatever. Probably a little bit of water at some point, I don't know. But basically, like if I hold them up to my ears like this, they're literally louder than when they're in my ear. And I would just say you really need to invest in a fresh pair of AirPods. I really like them because I don't have the cord, but you can obviously find a bunch of different alternatives. But I would definitely recommend having some that you're not afraid people can hear you when you're listening to stuff, because like even when you're walking to class, if you want to listen to music, you don't want to be like turning it down when people walk past you. So definitely I will be investing in a new pair of those before I go back. Another thing is a steamer for my clothes. I had one and I used it max 3 times. If you have a lot of clothes that will get wrinkled, I would definitely recommend one over like an iron or anything. Sorry, my cat's here. Say hi. I used it 3 times. So what I would recommend instead is taking your clothes out of the dryer as soon as they're done, setting an alarm to make sure that like you go down there and nobody takes them out and throws them on the floor. And then if something's wrinkled, you can put it back in the dryer on a day that nobody goes down there. Most weekdays, weeknights, like nobody used the laundry room. And then just putting like a wet sock or like wet little towel or something in there. And then when you do the dryer cycle again, it'll usually take out all the wrinkles. Otherwise, if something was really wrinkled, I honestly would just wash it again. I know it's bad, but I don't think the steamer was worth it. Okay, another thing was a lot of shorts and skirts. Honestly, I'd bring like 5 max, not workout shorts and stuff like that, but like I'd bring probably like 4 pairs of shorts max, and then like it depends how many dresses and skirts you wear, but not too many because I brought a ton and I lived in Wisconsin and I just didn't even get to wear all of them before it was cold. But depends on you and what you think, but I recommend if you don't have a lot of space in your dorm for clothes, that's one of the things I wouldn't bring, because you can always wear jeans and a tank top or something, and I feel like that's a lot more makes sense for space. Another thing that I'm glad I didn't bring was a blender. I know a lot of people who brought them, but unless you have one that's really quiet, you're just gonna be like embarrassed to use it, and it's like kind of rude depending on the time of day. So I'd recommend not bringing a blender, as much as it sucks not being able to drink a smoothie when you're really craving one. It's just not worth it in my opinion. Another thing was a lot of shoes. My roommate, for example, brought, I'm not even kidding you, 4 or 5 pairs of just plain white sneakers, and like she wore them all the time, but it would have just made a lot more sense if she brought like 2 pairs of plain white sneakers and then a couple boots, and that's what I recommend. Another thing was a lot of books. I brought a lot of books because I was like, oh, I'll finally have time to read them. I didn't. I would bring like 1 book that you want to read, maybe 2, and then if you go home you can swap them out, but I definitely wouldn't bring like 6 or anything like that. Okay, another thing was a vacuum. We had a little handheld vacuum, which was kind of nice, but it depends on if your floor has a vacuum. Ours had a communal vacuum. No one ever used it really, so it was always available and nice, and it would just go so much faster obviously than me using the little hand one, and then it kept like getting stuck and you'd have to like pull all the stuff out of it, and it was just a mess. So I just started using the floor one. Maybe don't buy one until you move in, and then you'll know if there's one on your floor. Next thing a lot of people regret is bringing throw pillows. I had 3 on my bed and then a regular pillow, and then I had 3 on my couch, and the ones on the couch were actually pretty annoying because if you wanted to sit on the couch you'd have to move them. So I'd bring like 2 max for your couch, maybe just 1, but you definitely don't need a million unless you really want it to look cute. Then just go for it. I don't care. I knew I was gonna get frustrated with them, but I brought them because they were cute, and having a cute space is one of the only things that kept me there. Okay, the last thing is a fridge with no freezer. I don't know if you'll have to buy a fridge or a microwave, but if you do, you might want to look into a fridge with a freezer. I already had mine. My mom had it from a long time ago, so I just brought that one, so I didn't have to buy one. But it didn't have a freezer, and I can't tell you the amount of times I wished I had like an Eggo waffle or like ice cream or like anything like that. Or like if I bought something frozen, I would have to use it within a couple hours, otherwise it would be thawed out. And now for the best investments, I had my laptop for sure. I had an Apple laptop. I can put a picture, but that was definitely my best investment. I got it right at the end of my senior year, and it was really confusing at first because I was used to like, I don't know, like Microsoft laptops or whatever. But if you have an iPhone, it works really well. I can't tell you the amount of times I airdrop something from my phone in 2 seconds to my computer, and it's so nice, other than like having to email it to myself and then resave it all like I used to. Next thing is a parking pass. Really consider if you want to bring your car or not. I know some campuses you're not able to, but mine, it was an option, and I think our parking pass was $250, which is kind of a lot, but it was for the year. I can't tell you how amazing it was to just be able to go in my car and have an escape. If I wanted to call someone, I could sit in my car and do it. Also, I could have a job off of campus, which was nice. And if I ever wanted to go home, I could just go home. And that was super, super, super nice. And like, even just having my car there was such a, like, I knew I could escape if I needed to. I knew I could go somewhere if I needed to. And then not having to ask all your friends to drive you places is also so nice. Okay, next thing is a loft shelf and charger. I can insert like a picture of it, but mine was from Bed Bath & Beyond, and it hung on the loft. If you have a lofted bed, I would definitely consider it. And it had a wireless charger, and then I could just set stuff on it. So I had like chapstick in there, my water bottle in there all the time, my AirPod case in there, and it was so nice to not have it like rolling off of my bed all the time. Next thing is a futon. I feel like that's pretty obvious, but if you have the option between that and a couch, I would go with that. A lot of people were able to sleep on our futon, and that was super nice, just to have that option for them. Next thing is a nice backpack. Okay, mine is this Nike one. I bought it for probably my junior year of high school, maybe my senior year, I don't really remember. It has like the laptop sleeve. It's super nice. I'd recommend getting one big enough to hold all your stuff, but not too big to where it's like annoying. And then it has just like this front pocket. It's really nice. I really like it. Next thing is a shower caddy. I know a lot of people talk about it. Absolute must have. You definitely need one, and it's so nice to put all your stuff in there and bring it to the bathroom with you. Tide to go sticks, the little stain removing sticks. I cannot tell you the amount of people that would come to our room and be like, can I borrow your Tide stick? Because they made so much sense. You just wipe it on there, it usually comes off immediately, then you wash it, and every stain that we had came off. We'd also use it on our rug, couch, everything like that, and it always worked perfectly. Another thing is one of those sleeping eye masks. If you have a roommate, I definitely say there were so many times where my roommate would stay up super late, and I would just use that and I could fall asleep easier. There were also a lot of times where I wanted to take a nap, and obviously I can't make our room perfectly dark with shades that we had, so that was a super big game changer. Obviously, shower shoes. I got mine from Old Navy. They were $1 flip-flops, and that worked so perfectly for me. You definitely don't need fancy ones, but you do not want to be stepping on those floors. There was a lot of hair on ours a lot of the time because it was like a girls' shower room. There was so much hair, and just if you didn't have your shoes, you'd be stepping on, and then you'd have to walk back, leave footprints. No. Bring shower shoes. Another thing, a hydro flask. This was amazing. We didn't have ice in our room because we didn't have a freezer. Also, there was no like ice machine on our floor. I could put my hydro flask, I could fill it up at the water station thing, put it in the fridge without the cap on it. The inside of the bottle would get super cold. Then in the morning, I put it on. I had cold water all day. Game changer. I know they're kind of expensive, but honestly, the like $30 is so worth it when you have cold water all day, especially if you don't have access to ice. Lastly is extra sheets. I know a lot of people say that they don't like them or you don't bring them. Depending on the day, I would just bring an extra like sheet, just one singular sheet or pillowcases, because they don't take up that much room. And then if you're washing all your clothes and you're trying to get everything done, like there were a lot of times where I'd wash all my clothes and then I'd want to take a nap. while it's washing, and I couldn't because I didn't want to sleep on my bed that doesn't have sheets on it and it's like the dorm bed. I think it was really nice for me to be able to switch it out and switch out my pillowcases a lot more often, because then I could just put them in my dirty clothes, and then that was super nice because it's bad for your face to not change them often. Also, a mattress pad. Mine was probably about this thick. I actually have it on my bed now because I was like, I spent all this money on it, I will continue to use it. Doesn't even fit my bed, but I would say for sure this is a huge thing. I wouldn't get the ones that are like egg cradle shaped. I would get just the regular foam ones. Go to TJ Maxx. Mine just said it was a twin size, but if you actually read the packaging, like the sticker that TJ Maxx put on it said twin, but if you actually read the packaging, it was twin XL, and it was so wonderful. I think mine was $40, maybe $50. I was able to like lay in bed and do schoolwork, not have major spinal issues because of it. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. I will have a lot more college videos coming soon because I finished my online class. So I actually have some free time, and I love you all. I will see you all so soon. Bye. Hope you have a great day.